Good morning, Michael. What's up, Terry? Hello, D-Lug. What's up, girl? One of my clients sent me feedback a day or two ago, but one of the things that I request from everybody is feedback. Every single time you practice, I want to know, what did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel? And across the board, if you tell me what's happening inside of your mind, I can help you fix it. If you can describe what you're doing to yourself, and that's what it is. Don't believe emotions just happen to you. Don't believe your beliefs just happen to you. You're doing this to yourself. If you can tell me very clearly what it is that you're doing to yourself, I can help you do something different. 97% of the time. Sometimes people have this, like a thing, and they're just like, you can't, there's some people that are unhelpable. But most of the time, if someone can be really specific with me about what's happening when they go inside, it's very easy to help them not do that thing. Now, some of us are neurotic, y'all. Hello? Some of us are neurotic, which means that we play the same loop over and over again. You understand? Like, that's what neurosis means. It's like trapped in a loop of thinking the same thing over and over again. I bet you have some idea of what I'm talking about. Lord knows I do. Some of us are neurotic, y'all, and some neuroses are harder to solve than others. And that's not anybody's fault. Nobody knows why they're neurotic or not. You know what I mean? But a good example of this is body dysmorphia. And most women understand this mental disorder we call body dysmorphia, right? And it's a neurotic loop that no matter what happens on the outside, the loop does the same thing on the inside. Does this make sense? I'm trying to be as clear and as honest as I can about this without hurting anybody's feelings, y'all. Everybody's neurotic, okay? So it's not a question of whether you're neurotic or not. It's just a question of what kind of neurosis do you have, right? So here's the thing about the neurosis is that it's this pattern, and it does this over and over again. And no matter what happens outside, the inner pattern keeps doing the same thing. I'm ugly. I'm too fat. I'm too fat. I'm ugly. And it doesn't matter how much they weigh, boys and girls. It doesn't matter. It's very important that you hear me now. Believe me later. It doesn't matter how much they weigh. This is going to keep doing this. That's what a neurosis does. Do you understand? That's what makes it a neurosis. And so the challenge in helping anyone, and this is including yourself, is how do you break this cycle? This is the challenge of healing. I can't make it any simpler. It's how do we break a neurotic circuit that just keeps going, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm ugly. I weigh too much. I'm not worthy of money. I don't have abundance. How do we break this pattern? There's a lot of ways. I've been studying tools and techniques and approaches for 20 years, but not every tool or approach works for every person. And I'm starting to believe not every neurosis is breakable. Not every neurosis is fixable. And I don't think it's the fault of the thought. I don't think it's not the thought's fault that you keep thinking it, so we can't blame it on the thought. It's something about us. It's something about our own identity. Certain people will not let go of their identity. And if someone is deeply attached to their identity, it can be very hard to help them change. Because in order to change, you have to let go of your identity. You have to let go of this neurotic pattern, right? And it's not that we can't let it go, y'all. Please don't think you can't stop your self-defeating thoughts. Please don't think you can't rewrite your disempowering beliefs. It's not that. It's that you're afraid to. It's that you're afraid to. Because if you don't have that pattern that is your identity, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, then guess what? You don't know who you are. That pattern is your whole identity. And without that pattern, you don't know who you are, and people are terrified of not knowing who they are, aren't you? One of y'all will admit it. Aren't you terrified of not knowing who you are? But the irony is, you don't know who you fucking are anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people do you know actually know who they are? Like, honestly, put it in the comments if you know a bunch of people that know who they really are. Put it in the comments if you know a bunch of people that know their purpose in life. Please, call my bullshit if I'm bullshitting. But we're afraid to lose who we think we are, but we don't know who we are. How asinine is that? Do you see the paradox? Do you see the conundrum? And so this neurotic pattern, and we all have them, and we don't just have one, we have many neurotic patterns, thoughts. We just keep thinking every day. We just keep thinking those same thoughts. The only challenge to healing is changing that neurotic pattern. How do we change that neurotic pattern, boys and girls? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? How do we change that neurotic pattern? Because it's not the weight. That's the problem. Do you understand? If it doesn't matter how much you weigh, you still hate yourself, the weight isn't the problem. And every one of these neurotic patterns, whatever you think the problem is, that's not the problem. It's your neurotic thoughts that are the problem. It's you thinking the same disempowering thought to yourself over and over. It's not the Dems or the Republicans or the trans or the Mexicans. It's not your husband. It's not your boss. It's not the government. Do you understand? That's not the problem. If you're neurotic, it doesn't matter if the government changes. If you're neurotic, it doesn't matter if your husband starts acting different. Do you understand? Have you ever known a woman that's really, really, like, afraid of her man cheating? Maybe some of you are like that. Have you ever known a woman that is, like, totally fixated on is her man cheating? And she'll talk to you about it endlessly, and she'll go and she'll get the apps to track shit, and she'll try to look at his phone when he's in the shower. Have y'all ever known a woman like that? Very often, none of the men those women date are cheating on them. But they're doing this to themselves, regardless. Can you see, boys and girls, that the problem is not outside? The problem is in here. The problem is the neurotic thought pattern. And if people can see that, a lot of times they can't. A lot of times they can't, y'all. One of my clients is a CEO, and I had to fire her as a client. I would not normally be this open about it, but she doesn't watch the show. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like she's going to hear about it. One of my clients is a CEO, and I had to fire her as a client. And the reason is this pattern I'm telling you about, this neurotic pattern. And I love her to death. She's a wonderful human being. Like, she's still a friend. I had to fire her as a client. I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. She has what's called limerence, boys and girls, and you should look this word up, limerence, because if not you, somebody you know has it. Limerence. She has limerence, boys and girls, which is love addiction. Listen to me now, believe me later. She has what's called love addiction. Some of you might know what I mean when I say that. And what love addiction is, boys and girls, is it is a fixation. It's like a princess-like fixation. Very often, it's all the girls that were obsessed with princesses. They were trained with this shit from a very young age, and all they can think about is who completes them. And this woman is brilliant in many ways, and she got funding for, her startup company on her own. And she's fighting to help neurodiverse people get jobs and be understood, and she's doing so many incredible things. And here's what every conversation that I've ever had with her, here's what every conversation, Robert said codependent, yes. But this is different though. You don't have to be a love addict to be codependent, okay? So this is different. It's not the same thing. This is the importance of the distinction, Robert. You said codependent, which makes a lot of sense. And it's similar. There's overlap there, but it's not the same thing. And here's how I saw that it's not the same thing immediately, is that typically people with codependence, Robert, typically people with codependence have partners. You understand? Typically people with codependence have partners. And it doesn't matter how much they weigh, y'all. Typically people with codependence have partners. They have someone that can fulfill that dependence that they need, right? Typically people with love addiction, y'all, typically people with limerence don't have a partner. And it's very ironic, but it's this neurotic fixation on their partner and more importantly, what they want their partner to be, how they want their partner to act, how they want their partner to treat them, how, what status they, very often it's this swipe left type of dynamic. And very often love addicts don't have partners. And here's what every conversation with her sounded like. And this is why I had to resign, yo. I had to resign. We can't help everybody. Try as much as we like. And I've had clients that had to resign from me. Okay, I thought I liked tough love. I can't really handle this, right? It's okay. You're not my peeps. Okay, no problem. I had to resign because this is what every conversation was like. Oh, I've been so open and I'm just connected in so many ways and there's so much potential in life. And then I was at this thing and there was this boy and he was saying things and I felt wow, you really get it, And then we did this thing and then we took some shrooms and then we, I don't know if I'm gonna, but it's all about the business but so, but then he did this and if I really had somebody, then I don't know, dear God, can you jab a knife in my jugular, please? Do you understand? Every single time I talk to this woman, you could graph the conversation. It's going to start, oh, everything's so great, and I'm so connected, and I'm so awakened, and then it's going to start talking about a boy. And then once the boy is mentioned, everything that's said is about a boy. And then there's misgivings about the boy because the boy isn't performing how a boy should perform or how she wants a boy to perform, but he's a boy. And but I need to run more because I'm really trying to get into my fitness, even though this woman's practically anorexic. I'm really trying to get back on top of my fitness, but I need to run more. And then it always would loop back around to, but I'm just not doing boys. I'm just focusing on my business and my spiritual journey. And then she would be I would have nothing to say because I've heard the story 15, 20 times. And then she would say, do you have any feedback? Do you have any thoughts about that? I'm no, it doesn't matter what feedback I give you. It doesn't matter what feedback I give you. Does this make sense? And we're all doing it to ourselves, y'all. We're all doing, I'm not casting, whatever. I just had to resign because I can't keep charging you money to watch you run in circles. That's not what I do. I'm done. If you're ready to stop doing this, give me a call. But the point of this is that we're all doing this. We're all walking in neurotic circles in our lives. And those neurotic circles are pointing at everything around us. But the problem isn't what's around you, because even when what's around you changes, you still keep doing this to yourself. Do you understand? So I asked y'all, how do you stop a neurotic pattern? There's a lot of answers, boys and girls. There's a whole lot of ways to do it. But none of them matter if you don't want to stop. Say what? Did you hear me? There's a reason I don't help people quit smoking, y'all. There's a reason I don't help people quit drinking, y'all. Because it's not any fun, and it's not easy to help someone do something they don't actually want to do, y'all. If you don't actually want to break your own neurosis, I can't help you. Do you feel me? If you don't want to start thinking differently, then I can't help you, because all I do is help you think differently. And when you think different, you feel different. And when you feel different, you act different. And when you act different, you get different results. Whoo-wee! Did anybody catch that? This is how it works. I'm opening up the kimono. This is Wizard of Oz shit right now. I'm about to read you the testimonial. It's not a testimonial. It's feedback. But that's where I get all the testimonials from, y'all. Y'all didn't realize that, right? That's where I get the testimonials from, is the feedback I'm asking you for every single time you practice. So this particular woman is demonstrating the answer of how do we break our own neurotic cycle, okay? How do we break our own neurotic cycle? What I did was I taught her how to think differently, and then I told her what to think about. And this feedback is a result of her doing what I told her to do. You want to know how do you change your redundant, your repetitive, your neurotic thought patterns? By reprogramming them, boys and girls. By reprogramming them. By consciously, intentionally, and repetitively thinking different thoughts. That's how you break a neurotic loop, is you cut the fucking circuit. Do you understand? And this is a brute force process. I can't snap my fingers and rewrite your wires, right? It's a brute force process, but I can teach you how to rewrite your own, which is what you should want anyway. You shouldn't be trying to give your shit to someone else and go fix me, make me better. You should be trying to figure your own shit out, because that's what the spiritual journey is. The spiritual journey isn't pay Deepak Chopra to fix your shit for you. That's not the spiritual journey, y'all. The spiritual journey is, how do I figure my shit out and stop creating problems for myself? That's the real challenge. You can take a pill, but that's not going to teach you who you are. And that's not going to help you stop creating the same problem for yourself. All that pill's going to do is numb you to the effects. The pill's going to make you not care about the effects. But it's not going to help you solve the problem. This is the problem, boys and girls. Your neurosis is the problem. I want you to listen to this woman's feedback. This is a barrage of soul-wrenching mantras. And she wrote them all herself. Can you feel the power of that? I tell y'all mantras in here all the time. Give you life-changing mantras. Can you feel the power of learning how to write mantras for yourself? Can you not feel how much more powerful it would be if you could look at your own shit and make a mantra to reverse your neurotic pattern, instead of coming and getting a guided meditation from me or Deepak saying generalized shit? Can you imagine how much more powerful that would be? I hope so. I hope so. I'm going to read this to y'all, and I hope you listen. And I hope you feel the power of what's happening inside of you. This is the feedback she sent me from her meditation. You ready? Close your eyes. I accept myself just the way I am, with all of my experiences and feelings. I accept that this has been my roadmap, which has brought me to this point. I accept that without all of these experiences, both good and bad, I would not be where I am today. Tingles. I accept that it was all necessary. I accept that I always have a choice in every moment. I accept that other people are where they choose to be. And it is not my job or right to try and alter them for my benefit. God damn, y'all. I accept that no matter what job I have, there will always be at least one asshole. Amen. Get it off your plate. Just accept it. I love it. I accept that and will move in a way that I need to and with what feels right to me. So I will honor myself and how I relate to the asshole. Brilliant. I accept that only I can decide whether to feed a trigger or let it be released. Woo! Woo! Gotta say that one again, y'all. Dear God, I accept that only I can decide whether to feed a trigger or let it be released. Y'all might want to write that one down. I accept that I have chosen to repress my feelings out of fear. Woo! I accept that there is only love or fear. Somebody's been paying attention. Somebody's been paying attention in class, right? Somebody's been paying attention. I accept myself and will now honor my feelings in order to live authentically. What a clear statement. I accept myself and will now honor my feelings in order to live authentically. I accept anything and everything that happens around me because I cannot control it. Thank you. I accept that it is my responsibility to choose what is right for me. I accept that only I have the power to live the life I was meant to live. Dear Lord, thank you, Jesus. Woo! Does anybody feel the value of what just happened inside of her? Bueller, Dela said hi. It was me. What's up, hon? Does anybody feel the value of what just happened inside of her? Roberto said yes. Tell us something about it, y'all. Susie Q said, I feel it. Cosmic Ally said, okay, SaTek, I'll bite. Ah, nice, hon. I love it. I love it. You're not the only one I'm speaking to right now. You're not the only one I'm speaking to right now, but there's several. Cosmic said, time to come back. I knew you would when you were ready. I knew you would. This is one of the most powerful feedbacks I've ever received because every single sentence is a mantra. Every single sentence is reprogramming her neurotic thoughts. Do you understand? Every single one of them was meant for a specific neurotic thought. And she's deprogramming herself. I can go up. I don't have to go down. Oh my God. Look, like I'm so used to going down. I thought you'd have to go down. But no, I can go up. And oh shit, I can make a unicorn. I don't have to just do a circle. Oh, I can make a panda bear. This is what thought is like, y'all. It's like drawings you're making on a page. And you keep drawing the same shit over and over and over and over. And oh my God, it drives me crazy. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm Spectrum. And redundancy drives me crazy because I see it the second time. The second time someone does a pattern, I see it. I'm like, okay, we got a loop here. And then y'all just keep doing it. And you just keep doing it. And I keep trying to get you to do a different loop. And what I've started to figure out is that I don't want to try and help people do shit they don't actually want to do. Because it's hard. When people actually want change, it's easy to help them, y'all. When you want to change, it's easy. And not only is it easy, it's fun. It's fun because you end up with shit like this. This is fun, y'all. Loving yourself can be fun. Healing yourself can be fun. But you gotta be willing to do something. You gotta be willing to raise your hand and say, fucking help, man. I'm sick of walking in circles. And you gotta be ready to not walk in circles. You gotta be ready to stop defending your patterns. You know? Like, it just stop defending how you feel and you'll feel a whole lot better. Just stop talking about why you feel the way you feel and you'll feel a whole lot better. Because you talking about it is a part of the neurosis. T. Manic said, how do you break that subconscious pattern? I just told you, dear. I just told you. I'm always giving y'all the keys to the kingdom. But I don't think y'all remember where you put them. I just told you. You create different patterns and you practice them. You create different thoughts and you practice them over and over and over. I'm not telling you can't go get hypnotized. I'm not telling you can't tap on your shit like EFT. I'm not telling you can't do Psych muscle testing to figure out why you're angry at your mother. I'm not telling you can't do that shit. But I'm telling you the simple and most dependable way is to just make different patterns. And then you practice the different pattern. Instead of thinking I'm not good enough, you tell yourself I am worthy over and over and over and over. And you start seeing how you're worthy. And then you're worthy like this. And then you see it like this. And then you carve a groove into your grass so that now you have a pattern and your energy naturally goes somewhere else instead of the same old pattern. Did you catch it that time, T. Mannix? If you want help, send me a DM and ask for help. And the real reason, y'all, that I'm having this rant is my roommate had a thing here yesterday, and they've had a teenage girl fight going in the community for weeks now, and I've had to hear the story 4 times already. I've heard this story. And she came outside, I was meditating, and this girl came outside crying about the same story. And I had to hear it all over again, y'all, and I couldn't hear it. And so I started trying to coach her. I started trying to help her see her neurosis, and it didn't work. It didn't work because she didn't want to change it. She wants to bitch about it. She wants to blame the other person. And by the time we were done, she stood up crying and she was like, I feel worse now. And I was like, I'm sorry, dear. That was not my purpose. I was trying to help you. I was trying to help you. But it was like, this is why we can't help everybody. She didn't actually want help. She didn't actually want to see through her pattern. She wants an audience for her patterns. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. That's what's going on with most people, is that we want an audience for our pattern. We don't want to change our pattern. We want to perform. We want to talk. We want to bitch about our pattern, about our thing, because we know it really well, y'all. We like being experts on something. And we're all experts on our neurosis. And we live to talk about that shit. Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. Weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, boys, boys, boys. Like, we live to talk about our neurosis. And this live stream is my fucking neurosis. Spiritual shit. Helping people love themselves. Helping people heal. This is my neurosis. Welcome to the game. You're welcome to join the family. But this is the key, y'all. This is the key right here. And I can't fucking give it to you in a live stream. I can't do this to you in a live stream. You understand? You got to raise your hand and say, put me in, coach, and we're going to do some exercises. And you're going to show me what your mind is doing. And I'm going to help you reprogram it. But I can't do it on a live because all of your minds are different. All of y'all have different neuroses. I can't help you all at the same time. So you got to raise your hand and say, help me. You got to raise your hand and say, put me in, coach. And I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you how to rewrite your own patterns. That's what I do. But I want to break this down because every single sentence is a neurosis reversing mantra. Write that down. That's the answer to your neurosis, is a neurosis reversing mantra. Now that you have that word in your head, now that you have an idea, instead of doing this, what we're going to do is this. We're going to go up instead of down. You understand? Neurosis reversing. Whatever this is doing, we're going to do the opposite, okay? Understanding that one concept, when I read you these now, you're going to feel exactly what she's been dealing with. And you have a lot of these fucking issues. If you want to write down any of these mantras, you can. And they'll help you, but not the way learning how to do this for yourself will. For that, you need me or Deepak Chopra. if y'all like that kind of thing, right? You need help. You need help. If you didn't, you wouldn't be doing this every day of your life. You understand? You need help. And all I need to do is see this, and I'll teach you how to turn it into this. Does that make sense, boys and girls? I couldn't make what I do any clearer than that, okay? We're going to break this down one by one. I accept myself just the way that I am, with all of my feelings and experiences. Do you feel what that's reversing? I accept myself just the way I am, with all of my experiences, everything that's happened to me, and my feelings about them. Because you have experiences and y'all can't accept your experiences, and you have feelings about the experiences, and you won't let yourself feel the fucking experiences or feelings in order to process the damn experience, right? You have an experience, I won't accept the experience. Then you have a feeling, I won't feel the feeling. And now I wonder why I'm so messed up inside, because I have all these experiences and I have all these feelings and I won't accept any of them. And for some reason, I can't sleep without Ambien. Do you understand? So what we do is we learn that it's okay to feel your feelings, boys and girls, no matter what the president says. It's okay to feel your feelings, boys and girls. That's why you have them. And you don't actually have them, you create them. I'll teach you about that too, but you got to raise your hand and ask for help. You create your feelings, right? So there's no reason to fear them. You're creating them. So instead, let's pay attention to them. And then it's like, oh, I can feel this feeling about this thing. And oh, that feeling is doing things. It's, oh, okay, it's going. It's oh, okay. And now that feeling has been felt, this experience looks different now. And this experience doesn't look frightening anymore because I felt the feelings that I've been hiding from. I felt the feelings, and the feelings are now gone. And so the event, the memory doesn't matter anymore because it's not creating the feelings because they've been felt. This is what's called processing your emotions, boys and girls. Processing your emotions. Now I'm going to read you the mantra one more time, and you're going to understand it in even a deeper way. I accept myself just the way I am, with all of my experiences over here, and all of my feelings over here. I accept myself, I accept my experiences, and I accept my feelings. That's all you need. That's the Holy Grail. And everything we do in the program is leading you up to that point. We don't start there. That's where we get to. After forgiveness. I know forgiveness is hard, y'all. I know forgiveness is hard, but it doesn't have to be. Unless you're addicted to the grudge, unless you're addicted to telling the story that you won't forgive, then it can be really hard to forgive. If you're addicted to the story, if your identity is connected to your pain, it's going to be really hard to let go of your pain. God damn, write that one down. If your identity is identified with your pain, it's going to be really hard to let go of your pain because that means letting go of your identity. And nobody wants to let go of the smidgen of identity that they have. Y'all all know you don't actually know who you are, but yet you're afraid to lose who you think you might be. Oh my God, humaning, y'all. This is a funny-ass game. This is a funny-ass game. But we got more problems than that. We got more neurotic patterns than that. So let's go deeper. I accept that this has been my roadmap, which has brought me to this point. That's like kismet, y'all. That's like I'm starting to feel my fucking destiny shit, y'all. Try that one on for size. I accept this has been my roadmap, which has brought me to this point. I accept that without all of these experiences, both good and bad, I would not be where I am today. I would not be who I am today without these pains, without these sorrows, without these neuroses. I accept that I always have a choice in every moment. That's empowerment right there, boys and girls. I accept that I always have a choice in every moment. Tingles. That's the nature of empowerment. I accept that other people are where they choose to be. And it is not my job or right, thank you, dear God, thank you. It is not my job or right to try and alter them for my benefit. You got that straight out of here, honey. You got that straight out of here. But you see, she held on to the key, boys and girls. She held on to the... I'm giving y'all the keys every day. The keys to the kingdom within. But y'all don't remember where you put them. She held on to the key, and then she made a mantra for that specific key. That's how you open your locks, boys and girls. That's how you open your doors, is by keeping track of your fucking keys. Let's say it again. I accept that other people are where they choose to be, not where I choose to be. They made these decisions, and it is not my job, nobody's asking me to do it, or my right, nobody gave me permission to try and alter them for my benefit. Because anytime you're trying to change someone else, there's only one reason you're trying to change them, and that's for you. That's for your benefit. Can you feel how narcissistic that is? Can you feel how selfish that is, to ask someone to be different than they are for your benefit, boys and girls? Anyone? Bueller? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's the fucking pinnacle of hubris, y'all. And we all do it. Don't try to pretend. We all do it. All right. This one's big. A lot of us need this one, y'all. I accept that no matter what job I have, there will always be at least one asshole. This is Yoda shit, y'all. This is how you hack your reality. You don't go around expecting that you get to live life asshole free. Right? Cause why? Cause free will, y'all. It's fun for some people to be an asshole, man, and there's always gonna be one. And so if you don't know how to handle that, you're gonna struggle, and you're gonna hide, and you're gonna be angry, and you're gonna create all this drama that you will blame on the asshole. But there's someone right next to you that isn't fazed by that person. You understand? Like, you have to understand this. There's someone right next to you that's not fazed by their drama. You have to realize that's possible. If you ever want to escape, if you ever want to change, you have to realize that's possible. This is brilliant. I accept that there's always going to be an asshole. And then here's the really empowering part. I accept that, and I will move in a way that I need to, and with what feels right to me. So I'm going to protect myself from said asshole. I accept that there's one, but that doesn't mean I have to stand in the line of their fire. You understand? Like, woo! Go, girl. She's ready to write a course on acceptance. These are some of the best mantras anybody that's ever worked with me has come up with. And that's all it is a whole list of mantras. You got to keep doing this shit, hon. I accept that only I can decide whether to feed a trigger or release it. Wow. I accept that only I can decide whether to feed a trigger or release it. Can you feel the empowerment in that? Can you feel the empowerment in that? If not, there's nothing else I can tell you. There's nothing else I'm not your guy. If you don't feel the empowerment in that, I'm not your guy. Maybe Deepak can help you. Y'all have no idea how much I hate Deepak Chopra. Oh my God. Oh man, I release all judgment. I release all judgment. Okay, this is so powerful. I accept that only I can decide whether to feed a trigger or let it be released. I accept that I have chosen to repress my feelings out of fear. Woo! I accept that I have chosen to repress my feelings out of fear. I'm the one that's hiding from my feelings. I can't blame that shit on my mom. I can't blame that shit on my dad. I can't blame that shit on whoever touched me. I'm the one that's afraid to feel the feelings I create for myself. The feelings I create for myself. Your mama doesn't create your feelings. Your daddy doesn't create your feelings. Your preacher or whoever it was that touched you doesn't create your feelings. You do. You do. And the moment you take responsibility for that, guess what? You can start creating different feelings, baby. That's how it works. As soon as I know you don't want to take responsibility. I know you don't want to be like, okay, SaTek, I'm doing this to myself. I know that. I've been doing this long enough to know none of y'all want to do that. If y'all did, I would have a line around the block of people waiting to learn how to play with themselves in a way that feels good inside. But I don't. You see, I don't. There's nobody here. But this is what happens to every single one of you that does what I tell you to. Do the reps. I used to be a personal trainer. Do the fucking reps. If you do what I tell you to, your life will change. And if it doesn't, I'll give you your money back. I accept that I have chosen to repress my feelings out of fear. I accept that there is only love or fear. That's it. Every time you have a thought, you're going down or you're going up. Every single time. There's only love and there's fear. And if you're doing fear over and over and over again, it doesn't matter what's happening in your life. You're going to feel like shit. You got billionaires doing this all day long, every day. You got skinny, gorgeous, famous people all day long doing this. You got people with all the friends in the world all day long doing this. It doesn't matter. That's why I don't do personal training anymore. It doesn't matter how tight your ass gets. You're still going to keep hating yourself. So I'm not going to deal with your ass. Sorry. No asses here, sorry. No, how do I get prettier here? Sorry. No, how do I lose weight? How do I look younger? No, how do I find a man? Because it doesn't matter, y'all. You're still going to do this. So I'm helping people do this. And it's so hard to get y'all to sign up, to change your own patterns, to change your own neurosis. This is how you do it. You understand? With conscious intention and practice. Discipline. I'll teach you how to have discipline, but you have to raise your hand and say, I want to learn discipline. You have to raise your hand and say, I want to learn focus. You have to raise your hand and say, I want to learn how to reprogram my mind. You got to raise your hand and say, I want to learn how to love myself because I remember the feeling. All right, last couple. I accept that there is only love or fear, and I'm making one choice or the other every single moment. I accept myself and will now honor my feelings in order to live authentically. Thank you. Y'all all know authenticity is the new black. Y'all all know that's the new currency, and you all want to know how to do it. The way you do it is by feeling your feelings, by stop being afraid of your own feelings. That's how you find authenticity. And she figured that out for herself. Bravo, dear. I accept anything and everything that happens around me because I cannot control it. Thank you. Where do you think Zen comes from, y'all? Zen doesn't come from expecting redneck people to like brown people. You know what I'm saying? That's not, like, when are the rednecks going to start liking brown people? Then I can be happy. That's not, like, no. Happiness, Zen doesn't come from when rich people start giving poor people their stuff because, just because. That's not gonna happen. It's not about what's happening outside, y'all. It's not about what's happening outside. And every one of you that's going crazy because of the country and because of the administration, y'all, and I offer anxiety. I gotta charge y'all for the anxiety shit because y'all won't sign up if it's free. But when I charge y'all, then y'all sign up for the anxiety stuff. That's how I help you. Is I help you stop projecting outside and start paying attention to this. And instead of this, we're gonna do this. And you have to do this a bunch of times. You can't do it just one time, y'all. You got to carve a groove into your own record. You got to carve a groove into your own record. Does that make sense? Woo! Welcome, boys and girls. If you've never been here before, this is Soul Stream with SaTek Ananda and the Council of One. Apparently, I'm the executive shaman, y'all. I'm here every day, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time, whenever we're not in timeout. All we do here is attempt to activate the divine light inside of you so that you can activate the divine light inside of others. If that sounds like a jam to you, please don't be a stranger. Hang out with us for a bit. Ja said, took me years to change this neurotic pattern. I had to reprogram my mind, and I'm still doing it. Thank you. You have to reprogram your neurosis, y'all. That's how you do it. You can pray if you want to. You can tap on shit if you want to. There's a lot of ways to do it. But the key is you have to want to change your neurotic pattern. You cannot help someone do something they don't actually want to do. That's why I don't help people quit smoking. But several people that sign up and learn to meditate, they quit smoking, y'all. They quit smoking because we're not talking about the external thing. We're dealing with the internal pattern. When you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. When you change your feelings, you change your actions. When you change your actions, you change your results. That's the algorithm, y'all. That's how it works. That's the peek behind the curtain. Thank you, dear. Amen. Thank you. BB said I needed this. I did too, BB. I got pulled into the weeds yesterday with this woman, and this is me venting that energy. I got trapped listening to poor me shit for 30, 45 minutes. This is me venting that. And I was holding it back on her, and I still made her cry. She felt worse. And I was like, I can't listen to the schoolgirl shit if you're not willing to change. If you're not willing to accept help, I can't listen to the story anymore. I've like, she did this. She did. Why won't she apologize? Oh my God, man. Like, this is my job, y'all, every day. And, like, I'm going to sit here and do this for free. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I'll help you for free just to not listen to your story. But I'm not going to listen to your story again. I've heard it 4 times already. Deb Ruddy said, oh, yes, record over the loops. Make new recordings. Thank you. You got to reprogram yourself, y'all. Nellie said, we create new grooves in your brain with your new mantras, new neural pathways. Yes, your brain is so... It's called neuroplasticity, y'all. Your brain is so changeable, you have no idea. Your brain isn't the problem, it's you. Your brain isn't the problem, it's your ego, it's your identity. That's the problem. And I don't care if you think you're an empath. Oh, I'm not a narcissist. Your identity is the problem. I don't care what story you tell yourself. Your identity is the problem. Deb Ruddy said, patterns become an addiction. They do, y'all. The mind is addicted to patterns. But what you don't understand is you can create positive ones instead of negative ones. Your mind is always going to be addicted to patterns. The question is, are you going up or down? And that's the only question. Are you choosing love or fear? Roberto said, some people dwell in their misery. They are comfortable in it, yet complain about it. That's the funny thing, is we get comfortable in our misery, y'all. There's a reason you keep smoking them nasty ass. There's a reason you keep drinking that cheap ass. There's a reason we keep doing these things to ourselves, y'all. And it's because we're comfortable. We're comfortable in our shit. We're comfortable in the mud. We're comfortable in our patterns because at least we know what to expect. You start changing your patterns and now you don't know what to expect, y'all. And most of you are terrified of change. And, you know, you can't teach sheep how to not baa. You can't teach sheep how to not baa. Roof, 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 roof. Roof. Bah. Bah. You understand? Firefly said, thank you for not giving up on us because it's so helpful. You're welcome, Firefly. And I love how many of you let me know that, no, you're changing my life just from the live stream alone. That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. But that's not why I'm here. And I don't assume that that's possible because everything I say here is general, y'all. The real magic of what I do is that it's personal. The real magic of what I do is that it's customized. Okay? I want to tell you a story. So there was a professor in a college class. They got the whole seats. It's a stadium seating, so you know it's a college class. Stadium seating. And this one girl asked a question, and the professor says, what is your name? And she tells him, and what's your last name? And where are you from? And she tells him, and he says, please gather your stuff and get out. Get out of my classroom. And I don't want you ever to come back. You're not welcome in this classroom ever again. Please leave. Feel the energy, boys and girls. Pay attention. Pay attention. The teacher tells this woman, beautiful woman, get out of my class. You're not welcome here. Do not come back. And she's like, but I don't understand. And he says, it doesn't matter. You're not welcome here. Get out. And the woman leaves the class. And then the teacher starts teaching the lesson. And the lesson is about dictatorship. The lesson is about authoritarianism. And he said the first thing people say when you start teaching what actually happened in Germany, the first thing people say is, how could people let that happen? And then this man stopped on a dime. And he said, how many of y'all know what happened to her? Nobody raised their hands. Nobody know why that woman got kicked out. And then he said, did that seem just to you? Nobody said yes. And then he said something really important, y'all, and you need to feel this. He said, why didn't any of y'all stop me? Why didn't any of y'all intervene? Why didn't any of y'all defend her? Ooh-wee. You might be feeling the moral right about now. That's what you feel inside. If you feel like a little pang, that's called a moral. That's the moral of the story, y'all. And if you listen to the morals of the story, you might end up with some morals, boys and girls. He said, why didn't any of y'all intervene? Why didn't any of y'all defend her? Why do you think, boys and girls? Why do you think? They all had their own answers, and some of them were good answers. I've asked y'all questions like this all the time. Some of them were good answers. Well, expectations, programming, this and that. Do you know what he said, boys and girls? He said, because it didn't affect you. Exorcise the demons. He said, because it didn't affect you. And there's a lot of other reasons, boys and girls, and it's because you're taught to respect authority. This is his class, so you assume he knows what he's doing. It's not your place to tell the teacher they're wrong. It's not your place to tell ICE they're wrong. It's not your place to tell the police they're wrong. It's not your place to tell the president they're wrong. But you see, some of us are built different, boys and girls. Some of us didn't grow up bang. Some of us don't care who you are. Some of us are going to tell you this shit don't stand. Not on my watch. You don't get to do this to someone in front of me. Some of us are built different, y'all. So, you need to feel the moral of that story. The story doesn't matter. You need to feel the moral of that story as we move forward with this administration in this country right now, boys and girls. Right now. You need to feel the moral of that story right now. You get to decide, boys and girls. Go look at these 24-hour music festivals happening all over the country that none of the media outlets are covering. All of these people are built different, boys and girls. No kings here, buddy. No kings. You can take my life, but you'll never take my freedom. You understand? Y'all need to break out them Rage Against the Machine albums. Y'all need to remember what's up. All right, that's it. I got it all out. Sunday venting. Now we can have a margarita. This has been magical. Thank you for holding space for me, so that I can hold space for you. Do you see how it works? When we hold space for each other, then others are willing to hold space for us. Thank you. This has been another wonderful episode of Soul Stream with SaTek Ananda and the Council of One, apparently. I'm the Executive Shaman, y'all. I'm here every day, 11 a.m. Eastern-ish, whenever we're not in timeout. All we do here is we attempt to activate that divine light inside of you so that you may activate the divine light inside of others. If that sounds like a jam to you, please don't be a stranger. Y'all come back now, you hear? Same bat time, same bat channel. I'll still be here telling y'all the same shit. Trying to get one or two of you to sign up to play a new game. In the meantime, love yourself. Love yourself. I promise you, it's possible. I promise you, you're worth it. I promise you. If you don't know how, send me a DM. I'll help you. That's all I do, y'all. It's my full-time job. Josh said, have a magical day. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your lunch. Gratitude. Namaste, dear. Peace.